Hi, Brightly & Co. Hey, Malfunction. Hey, guys, thank you for coming. Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to switch screens here. Hey, Melissa. Ooh. Hey, guys. Ooh, it's nice to see you. Thanks for hanging out with me on this Tuesday afternoon. I'm already getting my days mixed up. It's been a heck of a week. Thanks for hanging out with us. We are going to talk about everything regarding leaving MailChimp to see if you are ready and what your options are going forward, why you would want to leave MailChimp, and eventually why we chose ConvertKit and the features that we love about it. So if you've been wondering about this, you're going to learn a ton of information, so take some notes. Samantha, I know you're not ready. It's so scary. It can be very, very scary researching email providers, and it's really overwhelming, and there's a lot of stuff, and there's that like FOMO, fear that you're going to miss out on some feature, but I totally get it. We've done the research for you. We're going to have a run through step-by-step analysis of a lot of the top email providers on the blog tomorrow, so be sure to check that out in like paper form. We're going to make a chart and it's going to be super handy, but today we're really going to talk about what made us decide to leave MailChimp and the features that we needed to grow our business and why we're switching to ConvertKit. So give us some hearts if you love what's happening today, and please share this on Twitter and with your friends and invite your peeps. I believe if you swipe left, maybe you can share it with your people. So thank you so much. Okay, so first of all, why would you want to ever leave MailChimp, right? They're beautiful. They're usually free. You can get by with them for free for a very long time, and it's easy to use. So it's really scary about why you would even consider anyone else. Well, we hit a couple of roadblocks that made us start to research what we might start to get out of an email service provider. We didn't even know we were hitting these roadblocks really until they happened in our business, because when you're first starting and you're learning all of these things and you are very new to email marketing, you don't know what you're missing if you don't have it, because you don't even know what things are, how to do them, what automation and segmentation and tagging and lead pages and landing pages, like what all that nonsense is. You just want to send a freaking email. So hanging out on MailChimp when you're still in that mindset is great. We still recommend it to a lot of newbies and beginners, and it can get you far. Their templates are very easy to use, they're drag and drop, and they're great. One of MailChimp's biggest downfalls, however, is that, Samantha, coffee me, we can beer you later. One of MailChimp's biggest downfalls ever is that they count your subscribers as duplicates. So if they're on multiple lists. So say for instance, Samantha, you sign up for our main list because you like us, and you sign up for our Quadruple Your Instagram e-course because you love that. And then you sign up for one of our in-person workshops to hear about all of these things, and we have those as separate lists because we want to give you targeted information for that one thing. MailChimp would count you as 3 people. And that kind of sucks, and it starts to add up. So we were being counted for thousands of subscribers that we technically didn't even have. Not only were we being counted for it, but that meant we were paying for it. So as soon as we hit 2001 subscribers, we had to pay more money, even though we didn't necessarily need to pay for those people because they weren't different people. They were the same people even if they were using the same email. So that starts to get really irritating the more people that you have. And isn't that the whole point of targeting your emails and wanting to succeed, is to grow your list? So that being said, we also got really frustrated with the fact that we couldn't actually target our email subscribers that well. So MailChimp says that you can segment subscribers, you can put them in groups, but it's very difficult to do it on the back end. We would never want to have our subscribers choose themselves from a list of options what list they wanted to be on. We want to be able to do that for them, and we wanted that to be automated, and we didn't want it to feel weird or overwhelming when someone was trying to sign up. That is the only way that MailChimp lets you specifically target your people with different emails and by putting them on different lists is if they choose themselves. So that's pretty annoying. We also really wanted to further target our people in the sense of like, okay, if they open this email, send them this one. If they click this link, send them this email, which is a different one. If they buy this product, then put them on this automation or sequence. But if that's not able to be completely targeted and organized inside MailChimp, it's next to impossible. And we wanted to work smarter, not harder. And so we realized that we were going to have to find something a little bit better. Sorry guys, I'm trying to block a user and I can't figure it out. Okay, so we started looking. At that point when we were paying for multiple people for no reason, and we couldn't specifically target our people in the way that we wanted to, then we knew we had to look for other choices. So we started hearing about ConvertKit from Heather Crabtree and from a couple other people that we follow that use them. So we started to look into it a little bit more. What we wanted specifically was to pay for followers that we had, subscribers that we had, only once. So if they were on there for the same email multiple times, we only wanted to spend one chunk for that person. We really, really wanted to target these people better. We wanted separate forms for different e-courses or different pages of our website, even if it went to the same list, so we could see which one was doing better. And if we kept doing that inside MailChimp, then we would have duplicates upon duplicates, which would get insane. So when we started looking at ConvertKit, the targeting via tags for the subscribers is phenomenal. You can make a separate form for every single page, every single blog post, every single freebie or opt-in, webinar, workshop, whatever that you have. And people can subscribe to just that form, so then you know how many people are interested, obviously in that one thing, but on which page or which place that you put that specific form that's converting the best for you. And that's amazing to know, and it would be super obvious that a lot of people would offer that, but they don't, or they make it really difficult. A couple other features that we like in ConvertKit is that they have phenomenal customer service. So if you guys ever tried to contact MailChimp, it kind of sucks. You have to either I think you can only email them, and they take days to respond, and they're actually not very helpful. You can't pick up the phone, the live chat feature doesn't really work that well, so it's kind of crappy, especially if you're working in your email and something's going wrong. You've got to have an answer quickly. With ConvertKit, they are still new and they're still growing, but their founder, Nathan Barry, has been responding to our emails. Like, we didn't even realize that he was the founder for a while, and we were just like emailing him on a Sunday, and he would sometimes respond, and we just put two and two together that he was the founder today. And so it's cute in a good way, as in they are a small business who support other small businesses, and they're putting the work in doing the work themselves and trying to build their reputation, and they're doing a great job with that. In the end, ConvertKit ended up being less expensive for us. So I know sometimes when you go to look at paying for an email service provider, it gets kind of overwhelming. But the numbers may look cheaper on MailChimp, but if you remember that they're charging you for duplicate subscribers, your actual total number of subscribers could be 2 or 3 times the amount that you actually have, and you're gonna pay for that. So right now we pay, I believe, $75 a month based on our subscriber amount. But if you go to ConvertKit.com, or actually if you go to thinkcreativecollective.com/ConvertKit, we have all the information there for you about pricing and plans and all of their features. So we realized that even if for a couple months we might be spending a little bit more than we were with MailChimp, in the long run what we were getting was outweighing exponentially what we were paying. And I heard a good stat today, and I'm probably gonna get it wrong, I don't have it pulled in front of me, but it's for every $44 you spend on, for every dollar you spend on email marketing, you get $44 back. So in the sense that if you're doing better email marketing, and if you have a better email service provider, the way that you're gonna be able to target and speak to those people is gonna return to you in sales, in clients, in customers, and whatever. And we realized this right off the bat, which was kind of in a good way and a bad way. But we saw eventually that our MailChimp emails were going to the promotional tab or spam or trash. And it wasn't because of our headlines or any weird thing that we were using. It was just because sometimes that's how MailChimp works. Well, we all know that MailChimp has beautiful templates. That's what sold us on MailChimp and was really hard to leave because we loved how pretty our emails looked. Switching to ConvertKit, they highly support and only have function for text-only emails. So there's no pretty buttons or no easy way to drop in multiple images or galleries or intricate headers or colored blocks or quote blocks or anything. So at first, for like the designer in us, we kind of freaked out a little bit and thought that was gonna suck and be crazy. So we asked Nathan, who actually hopped on a call with us, and we had questions about ConvertKit, why that was and if we could maybe upload our own template or how that would work. And he told us that they have found that plain text emails have higher open rates significantly. He said if you really think back when you're doing an email and you're sending an email, if you're thinking about emailing exactly how you email your mom on Gmail or your best friend, you don't do this intricate layout with all these graphics and images and like some catchy kind of salesy headline. It's real talk. It's a real like, hey, can we hang out next week? And your body is just words that you're talking to a human being. And so that not only looks better in an email, it looks like it's coming from a real person because you are, but it helps it tremendously get you higher open rates in the sense that it gets popped in your regular primary email section instead of the promotional tab. So we saw two things, that we're getting a lot more replies back to our emails because we were asking people questions in our email for them to give reason to respond to us. So we were getting a ton more responses and we were getting a ton more unsubscribes. So I know at first that that's going to kind of freak you out, but if the emails that you're sending aren't getting seen by your people, they're not going to buy anyways. They're not going to read what you have. They're not going to go download whatever you're offering. If it's getting shoved in their promotional tabs and they never check it because it's with like the Gap coupon email, or it gets sent to their spam or their trash, they're never going to see it anyways. And so all of a sudden, all of our people who were on our list were actually seeing our emails, and some of them probably aren't our ideal people anymore. They've been on our list for almost a year and maybe they just don't fit our crowd anymore, so they're gonna leave. And that is awesome, first of all, because it saves us money. I don't want to pay for a subscriber that's not interested in what we're offering, but it was kind of hard to see. It's still happening. It's kind of a weird thing, but if you realize that the right people are seeing your email and it's gonna get into their main inbox, that's the entire point at the end of the day. So what else? Oh, landing pages. Let's talk about that for a second. So Samantha, I know that you kind of had a moment of overwhelm and stress, thinking that you have to upgrade to lead pages or that you need like one more thing to make email marketing work. So first of all, rest assured that you don't have to have all the things. So it's okay. ConvertKit has built-in landing pages. They aren't the best. They aren't as pretty as some of the ones you can make on lead pages, but they're included in your fee to ConvertKit every single month. You can make them super simple, super clean. You can put in your brand colors, your logo, everything. And so they're gonna convert really well because they're the one-click squeeze pages. So a landing page or a squeeze page, for some of you who may not know, is basically a clean and clear, concise page that only has one action. So it takes away all the clutter of a regular email page. So there's no header, there's no menu bar, there's no other distractions. It is just the current offer. So if you're asking them to RSVP to an event, to download a freebie, to get on your list, whatever the thing is, that's all you're asking for, and they have to pop in their email to do it. So sometimes prior to ConvertKit coming out, and a couple other email service providers let you do landing pages, but you might have to use lead pages to connect that. We still have lead pages because we like the connectivity through Squarespace with ConvertKit. It really makes things a lot easier, but you do not have to have lead pages to make it work. The landing pages in ConvertKit will do the exact same thing, and so you're not having to spend money for two services. There's also another cool feature inside ConvertKit that we just started using, so we're kind of seeing how it works. And I'm not sure of the exact name, but it's basically if you send an email, and in that email you have a link that's like, download this, or go view this product, or whatever it is, it's directing them to do something, you can track that particular link and have them go on a separate list if they click that link, and then trigger it to say, okay, if they click this link to hear more about this webinar, link triggers, thank you. If they click this link to hear about our next webinar, then automatically add the tag webinar. And if you've made a sequence for that particular webinar, like you're registered, here's when we're starting, here's the link to the room, share with your friends, whatever you wanted to create, they would automatically get those emails. So we are all for working smarter, not harder, and our email marketing system doing work for us that it's supposed to be able to do. So they don't have to re-put in their email. They literally just click the link and it automatically gets them added to that tag, and they get whatever triggers we have set up for that particular tag, they start to get that email or put on that list or whatever it may be. So at first, ConvertKit is kind of overwhelming because it's not different lists like MailChimp is. It's one giant list, but they're separated by tags. So at first it seems kind of daunting, but it's actually super amazing, and you can get like super clear, concise information for your people, but with the tags. So we have like main list tags, different webinar tags for each and every different webinar we've ever done, tags for every single opt-in we offer, and if we offer that opt-in on like 3 pages, we have different forms or different tags for those opt-ins, just so we can see which one is performing best. There's not a lot to set up on the back end. I just saw that question pop up. You can go to the link that's popped up in the chat box now to see more information. At first, like, it might be overwhelming because you're having to learn a new system, and it's not quite as drag and drop as MailChimp, but it's honestly not that difficult. There's no code to learn. There's no crazy, like, yeah, it's as simple as you want it. There's tags on different pages, yeah. So we can create like a tag for an e-course, for instance, and that's called a sequence inside ConvertKit. So if that sequence is 15 emails for that email e-course, that would be a specific tag. So it's explode your email list tag, because that's a specific course that we have. So if you sign up using that form, you're automatically going to be applied that tag because we made that a rule. And if you're applied that tag, you're going to automatically get sent this sequence because we made that a rule. So it's all this kind of if-then situation, but that's how email marketing should be working for you. It shouldn't be this, you have to be moving the pieces in order to get stuff done, and you have all of these like missing people who don't know about something or who aren't interested in something, but you just don't know. ConvertKit is honestly one of the best things for that. Tomorrow on the blog, we're going to be talking about even bigger algebra for creatives. It hurts your brain a little bit, but you know the benefits of implementing it. I love that. So tomorrow on the blog, we're talking more about the big guns like Infusionsoft, ConvertKit, MailChimp, Constant Contact, Aweber. So do I know if it's better than Infusionsoft? So I don't know because I've never used Infusionsoft. So that's the blanket statement. Infusionsoft is very expensive, very expensive. And I've heard that it's really hard to set up. It's hard to manage on your own. You would almost have to hire someone to do that for you who knew how to do it. Infusionsoft is kind of like this big jumbo system where you can have like webinars and your e-commerce and your email automation and your landing pages and your sales sequence all kind of in one hub, which might be nice, but it's very, very expensive. Yeah, hire someone in the beginning. Yeah, It's like $200 a month for the same plan that we have with, it's thinkcreativecollective.com/blog. If you go to thinkcreativecollective.com/ConvertKit, you'll see all of our info, or all of ConvertKit's info about their packages. But yeah, so Infusionsoft is just kind of, yeah, 200, yep, that sounds about right. $2K setup fee, and then about $200 or $300 a month. So it probably works for big, huge enterprises and powerhouses, but so can ConvertKit. We've talked to them about how big some of their people are who, I didn't see the beginning of that comment, sorry, or e-commerce. If you can repeat your question about e-commerce, I didn't see it. But I'm sure it works for big powerhouses, but when we talked to ConvertKit, we asked if they had big, yeah, Pat Flynn uses ConvertKit. Yeah, thank you for that. Pat Flynn has a good post on ConvertKit versus Infusionsoft, and he's used Infusionsoft. So, yeah, $199 without e-commerce. Okay, thanks. Yeah, so basically we wanted a good next step, but something that could grow with us, and we felt that ConvertKit was the best option for us. We were not ready to spend $200 or $300 a month for an email marketing system that would take us months or thousands of dollars to learn how to use if we had to hire someone to do it. And so when we heard about ConvertKit, we were really, really, really pleased with what they offered. We knew that they could grow with us because they're still in the learning stages, which is a good and bad thing. There hasn't been any problems on our end for email sending or things working at all. It's a good thing in the sense that if there's something that we think needs adjusted or we have a suggestion for them to tweak, we feel very comfortable emailing them saying, hey, could you potentially add an extra save button at the top of the form instead of just having one at the bottom? So they're still in those growing stages of they're very open and welcome to suggestions from their users. But they're a small business just like we are, and so they're listening to their people, and they're creating things that they didn't find in the market, and they wanted to make something that would work for all the needs of online entrepreneurs, online bloggers. Yeah, exactly. There's more features to come for sure. There's also a great podcast from the creator of ConvertKit on Smart Passive Income podcast. Yeah, you love growing with a small, yeah, it's pretty great. It was kind of a decision at the beginning of like, are we sure, it's kind of a big trusted thing to trust your growing email list with someone that's also growing, but I have liked it so far. So awesome. We're happy for you, home loving wife. Yay. Yeah, they do have a team of 13, and they are growing, but we love that we can reach out to them. I never expected them to respond on a weekend, and they did, so that's cool. And that the creator, Nathan Barry, is replying to our emails is pretty incredible. And guys, seriously, if you have more questions, email them and ask them to hop on a call with you, and they will. I think that it may cost now. I'm not sure. That's another thing that they're changing, but check on their support page and see if you can just start an email conversation with someone. I know for sure you could send in your questions to ConvertKit, and they would be more than happy to reach out to you and chat. So if you guys have any other questions about email marketing in general, or ConvertKit, or MailChimp, the last email we sent out was ConvertKit. This last Sunday's email was our first one via ConvertKit. So it takes a little getting used to because it's not as pretty as MailChimp, but if no one was even seeing it, then that's kind of not the point. They have a webinar going around. Oh, cool. ConvertKit has a webinar going around. Pat Flynn sponsored one. That's awesome. Yeah, so head to thinkcreativecollective.com/ConvertKit to see more about them. Head to thinkcreativecollective.com/blog. Oh, was it complicated to get your list switched over? Great question. Yes and no. So the actual getting your list from MailChimp to getting your list to ConvertKit does for you. You just have to send your API key from MailChimp to ConvertKit, and they will do it for you. Now reorganizing all of those people, and if you have any automations or any campaigns that you want to keep that wording, that's just the good old copy and paste, and it takes time. It's not necessarily complicated, but you're also kind of learning a new email service provider at the same time. So it's a little, yeah, it depends on how many links you have floating around. We had to go through over 300 pages of our website over the last week and make sure all the links we had to download any freebie or sign up for anything were changed, or they would be a dead link, and we obviously don't want that. That's no good. So it takes time and patience more than anything. It is not difficult. It's yeah, most people aren't as crazy as us. Yeah, the home-loving wife. Yeah, I would not have been mad to switch to ConvertKit sooner. I think Abigail and I just have a little bit of panic about spending money on things. More so Abigail than I do. But when you have a two-person team, you at least have the other person to bounce ideas off of and make you wait to pay for something. But really, we just learned about ConvertKit like 2 months ago. So when we technically should have switched, or it would have been easier, we didn't even know ConvertKit existed. And so I'm glad we did wait until we knew for sure and heard about ConvertKit and saw that it was the best option for us. Oh yeah, sure, Lindsay. Good question. I usually do a small introduction of us and myself at the beginning, and I totally spaced out and didn't. So thank you. I'm Emily. I'm the co-founder of Think Creative Collective. Abigail Pumphrey is the other co-founder of this crazy awesomeness that is Think Creative Collective. You can see us on Instagram at Think Creative Collective and online at thinkcreativecollective.com. We help with small business owners, specifically creative entrepreneurs, grow a business that fuels their soul and their pocketbook. So whether that's with marketing strategies, sales tactics, social media growth, blogging growth, basically anything to run and grow your business, we love chatting about and helping with. We've grown our small business from the ground up completely organically to something pretty phenomenal in less than a year. So definitely check us out on Instagram. You'll see a lot about what we do on there. But yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining in. If it's your first scope, we love having you and love your questions. So if anyone else has any particular questions about email or us or anything, yeah, you can go to thinkcreativecollective.com/join if you want to get on our mailing list and hear about any upcoming awesomeness. We also have a private Facebook community that we would love for you guys to hang out in, and if you had any other questions regarding email or anything, you can definitely ask them there. And thanks Samantha, and we will chat with you inside the group. So thank you guys for coming. Have a good rest of your day and your week, and we will see you later.